Today, I'm going to be talking about the courage to be disliked. And this is a topic that I thought about last minute because my first topic didn't hit as close to home as this one did. So I'm glad I chose this one. So let's get into it. The courage to be disliked. Imagine, to start off with, you're picking your clothes out and you're thinking about shoes you're going to wear, thinking about your makeup or how you're going to put your hair up or you're getting a haircut. Anything that has to pertain to how you're going to change yourself throughout the day or for a longer period of time, maybe even permanently. Let's say a thought of someone else pops into your head and you're thinking, how do I make myself do that or look like that or come across this way? I feel like that is where it kind of starts. That's the fear of not being liked. The people I listen to who have told me many things about this are Jordan Peterson, Philip Anthony, and Alan Watts. These three people mainly have been very good for me. They have changed my life immensely. I will give an example for Philip Anthony because of nowadays how social media portrays itself. It kind of comes across as, hey, you should be nice, or hey, you should be weak or good, or you should lay low, or you should bow down to people who are higher up than you, or do this or status, and all those different things under the sky. But Philip Anthony doesn't do none of that. He doesn't change the way he preaches because he's a pastor. He goes real Old Testament with it. He likes to preach about how the Old Testament God was not forgiving, and then he wants to preach about how there's lukewarm Christians out there and they will not be going to heaven. Where usually people will say, hey, you're doing this. If you say you believe in Christ, you'll go to heaven. But he teaches the factual stuff, but very straightforward and a good point, and kind of how the people used to teach back in the Bible. If you look into it, this is really how they used to teach. And people nowadays don't like that because the whole thing about Christianity is what people think is that it's supposed to be really nice and that anyone can get into Christianity as long as they believe in Christ. He says it's not true. Not only do they believe in Christ, but they do the how he preaches. Jordan Peterson, he comes across as a guy who challenges thought. He's kind of a motivational speaker, but more of a realist in a way. He likes to challenge the ways things work and why things are. And that's why I think I like Jordan Peterson a lot, because it really gets you going. It makes you think about self and how to preserve yourself and become the best self. And that's also what Alan Watts does. Those two go hand in hand. It's gotta be exhausting when to live and think about how other people think 24/7. The fear of being disliked is also the fear of being disliked leads to the counteract part of the courage to be disliked. If you can stand up and say whatever you want, do whatever you want to do, act how you want to act, or get dressed how you want to dress, you have the courage. If you're standing up, you want to do what you want to do, you don't care about outside opinions. Constantly obsessing about what other people will say about you or what other people think about you will not do any good for you in the long run. You gotta cut it off. All of that's gotta go. You should not be meek, you should not be weak. You should be very strong. And straight to the point when you're speaking to people. Because that's what people want. People want authenticity. And that's something that Jordan Peterson speaks on a lot throughout his speeches, because you gotta become authentic. You gotta be real the entire way through 24/7. So if you're not real, then what do people know about you truly? They don't know anything. How are you supposed to know someone if they're constantly acting to please you? And this goes to another thing. People pleasers are 49% of the population in America. That's a proven study. That's what they did on a study on people in America. 49% of people. That's a little less than half of the people in America who will act to please someone. They say 15 million adults on any given day of a year inside of America can also have and experience social anxiety at any moment. This number is probably a lot higher now because the study was back 2 years ago. But this is what I mean, where you have to stand up for yourself and you have to be selfish. You have to be strong enough to be okay with someone not liking you for how you are, or who you are, or how you're going to act. That is the courage to be disliked. The courage to dislike also means having self-respect and putting yourself above others. And not in a narcissistic way, but in a respectful manner. Because let's say, for instance, an example would be your mom, right? You wouldn't let someone talk to your mom a certain type of way. You wouldn't let someone treat your mom a certain type of way. You wouldn't let your mom act a certain type of way to please someone, because your mom doesn't please anyone. Your mom's a great woman. Every mom's a great woman. Well, that's the same respect you have for yourself. The respect you have for others should not be higher than the respect you have for yourself. You should have the courage to respect yourself more, and whatever you're doing, if it makes someone else not like you, it doesn't matter because it's you. It's you at the end of the day. This is where you are. Yourself should be very self-centered, and that's where everything should revolve around. Not in a narcissistic way, once again, but it should start with you because you matter at the end of the day. A bold point that I want to make is that everyone on this earth, everyone on this earth was born here. We have birthright to do what we want. We have birthright to act how we want. So do what you want to do and be you. The quote that sticks with me that I'll leave you guys with today is that everyone else is already taken but you.